All right, we're here. Yeah, another high tide imbibe. Doing something, kind of revisiting something here. Something I did back in 2014. It was a beer from Garrison that was the winner of their sort of brew off homebrew contest in 2010, and they made it as a hey, this guy won, so we'll make it. And like I said, I reviewed it in 2014. It was the Garrison Tilford's Nit-Wit Belgian wheat beer. Now it's just Nit-Wit. Um, I thought I had also reviewed this form of it before on the channel, but I couldn't find it. It might be in one of my like session videos where I did like several reviews together, but it didn't pop up for me in the search, and I'm not going to search that deep. And if I had already done this like a couple years ago, and whatever, I don't care. But yeah, it was like I said, it was a homebrew winner, and they just started making it. It became a seasonal. I think it went away for a while. Seasonal again now. Although they don't list it on their website. I was looking at their website. It's not listed under the seasonals. 5% alcohol by volume. Contains barley and wheat. They have, so I think the original one had coriander in it. So they don't list the coriander anymore. But they do say pour half of the wit in glass, swirl can, pour other half, and enjoy. So they are saying do the old trick of get the haze, the particulates on the bottom, swirl them around, add a little bit more protein, a little bit more flavor to your beer. The traditional style of doing it. I remember that was just a big thing. You always used to do with wheat beers back in the day when I was first reviewing beers. So we're gonna do it. Blast from the past. Let's just see how this holds up. Like I don't know, there might be coriander in this still, but and I remember this being a pretty good beer. I gave it like a 3.5 out of 5, something along those lines. Belgian in style, so expecting some candy-ish notes, some sweetness like that. All right, we swirled it. I'm not noticing any major haze coming out of this thing. And it's foamy like an old wheat beer used to be, that's for sure. Lots of carbonation coming up. Belgian wheat beers and German Hefeweizens both do this. I've crushed this can. Oh, I'll just keep the can for now. But yeah, there's nothing else on the can. It's nothing. Just they don't even mention where its origins come from or anything anymore. They don't mention it was what Greg Tilford or something the guy's name was the winner of the contest. All that stuff, they don't mention any of that anymore. So it's just kind of been incorporated into their lineup. We got Jake Campbell saying, "What's up? How's it going?" You see it. I think they do. I think they still put coriander in this. I seem to be getting a little bit of that on the nose, a little bit of that spiciness. little. I seem to recall the original one, and the original um, came in 500 milliliter bottles, and there was definitely like more of a candy sweetness sort of apparent on the nose. Not really getting that here. Maybe a teeny bit, but it's mostly a coriander, and you get the mustiness of the wheat. It smells like every Belgian wit, pretty much. Not quite as sweet as like an original Blue Moon, or a well, no, Blue Moon. Blue Moon's, I seem to recall, is a bit more spicy. I was thinking Hoegaarden. Hoegaarden used to have, when it was still actually Hoegaarden and wasn't destroyed. It had more of a sweet aroma to it. Jay Campbell, do you like all the black metal stuff Peters likes? No, I don't like black metal at all, particularly. I'm not into the corpse paint people running around the woods screaming and stuff. I can't do the vocals. I just can't do it. It's just one of those things that's anathema to my senses, where I can't get past those vocals. Some of the music, some of the instrumentation and stuff is pretty good. Sometimes it sounds pretty good, but every time they just go into those vocals, and I'm just like, I can't do it. And then a lot of them just seem to take themselves a little too serious. I mean, some of them have murdered each other and done white nationalist hate crimes against people, and yeah, it's just not a scene I'm into. I mean, if people enjoy that music, more power to them, but I'm not into it. And Peters, he's a fucking Nimrod anyway. He's an idiot. But Lee, that's the true diehard stuff. Chris Peters says so. Yeah, and it has to be recorded on a cassette tape and sold out of the back of a person's van or whatever for it to be legit, Like it. He's such a tryhard to be like the most hardcore, like dedicated black metal enthusiast. Like he is. He's a fucking psycho. He's just a narcissist and a psycho. It's so weird. And he's a Nazi too, apparently. Go figure. All right, we'll go to the taste. He hates Slayer. Who the fuck hates Slayer? Yeah, true. That's a good point. I mean, I'm not the biggest Slayer fan, but I mean, you can't deny they got some great songs. And yeah, I think he hates anything that's actually good and popular, because if he liked something that was actually good and popular, it would make him look weak, at least in his own self-image of what a hardcore rebel he actually is. And I was about to bring this up. He used to love new metal. Now he hates it. Yeah. Walking around for fucking repping for Korn and shit like that. Like, come on. I don't know. He turned into this weird culture warrior dude who, anti-authority, hates science. He's a fucking moron. He's an absolute fucking moron, and I love it for him. I absolutely love it for him. Couldn't happen to a better guy to be this so stupid that his own lifestyle choices work against him. And Korn were kind of trendy, weren't they? Yeah, they were. I mean, everything he says is basically hypocritical to who he was like a few years ago. But I mean, he's a big hypocrite anyway. I mean, he talks about being such a hardcore metal guy and stuff, but then he was doing that entrepreneur power hour shit. Putting on a fake crazy smile and shit, and wearing a tie and trying to run that fucking pyramid scheme thing he had going with his buddy Kareem. Like, fuck, man. He was all he was into is get rich quick schemes, and he has no integrity, nothing at all. And it's all out there on the internet if you look for it hard enough. It's all still out there. Like he's a fucking joke. He's an absolute fucking joke. So yeah, this is good. The coriander a little bit. The wheatiness really comes up. Nice graininess. Finishes a little bitter. A little underlying sweetness. Like I said, I think the Nit-Wit, the original version of this that I had, was a bit sweeter. So maybe this isn't quite as close to style these days as the original one was. But damn, it's refreshing. You can see how quickly I'm drinking this fucking thing. So like I said, I gave it a 3.5 out of 5 back in the day when I reviewed the original version of this. So of course my scale has changed now. Style wise, 7. It does all the things that a Belgian wit is supposed to do. Doesn't do anything special though. So, yeah, 7. I'd say 7. That's kind of where I sit at it. And it was like you're doing the thing, and it's pretty good, but you're not amazing me or anything like that. Personal preference, yeah, I'd sit that at a 7 as well. So honestly, that puts me right there at 3.5 back in the day where I was with my original scoring system, honestly. So yeah, I don't think this is necessarily better than the original Nit-Wit used to be, and of course that might be a little bit of nostalgia, sort of twisting my thoughts and my memories of the thing, but it's no worse. So it's pretty much on the same, it was a lateral movement all these years later. It's good. It's refreshing. It's good for the hot weather. You don't see a lot of Belgian wits out there anymore unless they're like one big mass-produced one like Blue Moon or whatever. So in that sense, this is probably your better choice. So I'd say, yeah, the Garrison Nit-Wit. It's out there on the shelves in the NSLC. I'd say pick it up. I got double 7s on it for style and personal preference. And let's see what Jake is saying here. He blocked someone for spelling something wrong despite having horrible. Yeah, I mean, again, massive hypocrite, right? Like, do as I say, not as I do kind of guy. He's just he's such a fucking weirdo. He's such a fucking weirdo. He's a lol cow, but he's a very he's a very low tier lol cow because he kind of disappears a lot, and not enough people really know about him. Like I know he's been like thrown on like lol cows threads on Reddit and stuff every once in a while for the sort of people who love to like do the hey we'll follow these lol cows and make fun of them and troll them and shit. But he never picked up any traction with that shit because he's the kind of lol cow that just blocks everybody and doesn't interact really with the people who make fun of him. So you kind of can't really do anything with that. Opinion on Lindsay Lohan as an actress. I think she's good. She's a decent actress. Yeah. Her biggest problem is that she's one of those started as a child actress and got into, got too famous too soon, got into drugs and stuff, kind of took her life off track, off the rail a little bit. I think she's doing okay now, but it's you look at people like her, you look at people like Corey Feldman, you look at people like she's doing all right now, it seems. You look at people like Edward Furlong and stuff. or the child actors, sometimes they have bad people representing them, people as guardians, abusing them, using them for money, giving them the wrong advice, sending them in the wrong direction. Britney Spears, another good example of that. And it their lives kind of spiral. By the time they sort of peak with their fame, their life starts spiraling out of control, and there's no one there to pick them up. A lot of times, because a lot of times they were just surrounded by yes men and fucking hangers on who just wanted money. Lindsay Lohan at her worst wasn't as ridiculous as Chris Peters. I mean, very few people are as ridiculous as Chris Peters. I mean, come on. And Chris is sober. I'll believe that when I see it. Maybe if anything, Chris should do more drugs and drink a little bit more. Maybe he'd lighten up a little bit. I kind of wish he hadn't destroyed all that stuff where he was making that. He was going to make like review documentaries about movies, and he was also making a movie with his junkie friend there that he kind of threw to the curb. I wish that stuff was still around. I should have saved that back in the day and preserved it, for all time. But because that was the funniest stuff. That was like, I think that was like a pivotal moment in his life, kind of really going down in a spiral. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. How many friends has he burned through? Well, I know the one. The junkie guy that he was hanging around, that he used. And I've heard stories that he's done that sort of stuff to other people too, and whatever girlfriends he somehow has accumulated in his life, which is a mystery, how that happened. But yeah, he's a narcissist. He abuses people. He uses them up when they're convenient for him. And now, of course, I'm not a doctor, so I'm not making an official diagnosis, but the sort of things he does is the sort of things you see narcissists tend to do. Some of the toxic traits of narcissism. Anyway, got to end this review. Take care, Jay Campbell. I'm going to be back 15 minutes or something. I got another Garrison to do, and then I got another beer to do as well tonight. So I will be back. But cheers. Thanks for watching, guys. And we're getting out of here. Bye-bye.